Okay, so I believe we're going to be doing roll call. Raymond Camina.
Present.
Rochelle Garcia is present. Judith Gutierrez. Present. Bethany Luna. Present. Janie Martinez. Excused.
Do you have to turn on the record?
It's already on.
Yeah.
This whole time?
Marisa Ramirez. Rebecca Sepulveda.
She asked to be excused, she was attending a funeral this morning.
And then it was Janie to those excused, right?
Correct.
And then Alejandro Villalobos.
Present.
And Marisa's also present. She has a doctor's appointment. Oh, thank you.
Okay, great. So that completes our roll call. Let's see now. Let's review the minutes from last meeting. Do we have any questions or concerns regarding the minutes?
If not, I'd like to move that we approve the minutes as submitted.
Okay, we have a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, wonderful. Those are the minutes from last meeting. Now let's move on to public comments. Does any-
Excuse me, Madam Chair, did you make a motion to excuse your members?
Oh, no, I didn't. I apologize. Motion to excuse those who have excused absence requests.
I so moved.
Second?
I second it.
Wonderful.
Thank you. Ask for the question. She had a motion.
Call for the question.
Oh, call for the question?
All those in
Excuse me.
favor, say aye.
Oh, all those in favor of excusing, say aye.
Aye.
Wonderful.
Any opposed?
Any opposed? No. Okay, that left us at public comments.
Madam Chair, we do have some guests here, but they're all related to the next item, which is the Downtown Bar Alliance.
Okay, great.
Item 5.
You know, point of order, may I ask, are there any action items that need to be?
You just
Voted.
did them. You just
That's
did the
it.
minutes and you just excused your members. Those are the action items.
Okay.
Everything else is informational on the agenda.
Okay.
So I
I
guess
don't
we
have to have a.
So then can we move on to the presentation?
Yes.
Certainly.
Okay, wonderful.
We have members of Laredo Main Street and, well, Jose is an independent consultant, but he's been very active with downtown redevelopment, and as y'all have heard from him before, so.
Good morning.
Good morning. So just to introduce myself, I'm Priscilla Iglesias, the Executive Director for Laredo Main Street. And I'm Nidia Robles, the Assistant Director from Laredo Main Street.
And Jose Ceballos, consultant for Baskin on the conference center project. And I think really Priscilla probably has the latest from the Bar Alliance. Julian was trying to be here, but he's out of town. And Cash was also trying to be here, but he had an event at La Posada that he's going to be at all day today. So I don't know if I think you all discussed this meeting with the Alliance, right?
Yeah.
A couple of days ago.
So basically what Main Street and other downtown advocates have been doing is facilitating meetings with the Bar Alliance, is what we're calling it right now. This is very unofficial. It's barely been maybe like 2 months in the making. But really trying to get these establishments, right now it's really like entertainment-based establishments, so bars, restaurants, venues like for receptions and all these type of businesses that are popping up downtown. And so basically trying to get them together and organize themselves to start creating a plan, a marketing plan, a joint marketing plan to really market downtown as a destination to go and hang out. We want downtown to be the place that you think of when you say, hey, like, what is there to do tonight? Let's go downtown, and you can walk the strip and you don't have to, you park once and you don't have to leave again, because there's several establishments on Iturbide Street and others popping up around the area. So basically, I guess what the Bar Alliance would really like to see and Main Street would really like to see is if the CBB could somehow assist in that promotion of creating I can't get the words, but creating like a marketing plan with us that incorporates downtown businesses so that it starts marketing it as a destination, not just the outlets, because downtown is not just the outlets. There's more things that are now popping up, and we hope that we can start working with you all to kind of push that into the marketing strategies that you all have on your website, and really start working together to see how we can push that out of town as well.
You make it sound like we don't work together, but we already
Oh,
do.
yeah, no.
I don't want anybody to think that we don't work with Laredo Main Street.
No, we work with
We've
you
done
all,
a lot
so many
of,
events.
we've done a lot of different work together that's
Yeah.
been continuing over the years, so
No,
I don't want
definitely.
anybody to think we don't work with Main Street, so.
No, we work with
We
you
already have
all
a really
so
great,
well. No,
we have a
yes.
really great, working relationship
Yes.
on a lot of other projects, so this is just something
Just
new
to
that's
add on to
being
what we've already
integrated
worked on.
into what we're doing.
Yeah, definitely. No, CVB has been great with Main Street as, working on different events that we've done. We did Caminate for, what is it, like 5 years now, 4 years? And so many other events that we collaborate on. This is just another, thing that we're starting up, and there's new businesses opening up downtown, so it's something that we want to kind of start pushing and getting out to tourists outside of Laredo as well. So that's kind of where we were at the meeting that we had with
Great.
Marlins.
And I think there's like 14 active.
Yeah. So we just had a pub crawl, bar crawl on Halloween. This is the second one that we put together. This is the first one that we did with the official Bar Alliance.
It was this past Friday. correct?
Yeah, it was
26th.
the 26th. And we have such a good turnout. The first time we did it for St. Patrick's Day, we had about 270 participants. This time around, we had 388 participants. And so, and these are just rough numbers by the people that actually go and get the postcards, but there were so many people out there.
It was 3 times that amount.
Yeah.
It was probably 1,000 people by my observation.
Yeah, it was really packed. Everybody was really packed. The first time we did it, we had 9 participating bars, and then the second time around, we had we had 14, and I think that encompassed almost all of the bars that are downtown right now. And there's a couple that are going to be opening up soon, so that's really exciting as well. But really just, trying to get the word out there that there is this nightlife that's growing, and not only to the community in our local community, but outside of Laredo, and just getting us on the map.
The couple of other things that I wanted to mention to the board and to the staff is maybe thinking through a broad strategy for making this arts and entertainment piece, or the entertainment piece, a destination. So it was one of the things that, and it's not a criticism on anybody, but bars, the outlets, as La Posada, whoever, they tend to create their own marketing effort, right? And kind of encapsulating a broader, not necessarily a brand, but a strategy where the tactics,
God bless you.
where tactics all fit in would be very timely, particularly because all the bars have their following. Some of them are, and they're all, in my eyes, they're all very young, a very young crowd. But that's not always gonna, so for me, like for folks my age and older, I'm waiting to see which bar is actually gonna pitch to the older crowd in my age bracket and above. But in any case, having a broad strategy that brings these folks, is all of them have, in my eyes, a very huge successful social media strategy. And they're all very different. But as CVB, I think it would be very helpful as we pitch to earn hotel nights and visitors to actually have a strategy where they get wrapped in or encapsulated in that broad strategy. And we've seen it with others, and for me, I'm speaking externally with the outlet shops. Their branding now has been broadened, and because they see that value, and the more we showcase our entire downtown, I think the more people will come, and not just locals, but also visitors. For them, it's trying to get the locals into their venue, but those are the observations and there's real excitement with that group, so I think having any added value that comes through CVB would be very helpful to them. They would welcome it, and one of the things, not that I should have assumed anything different, but they're all very smart entrepreneurs, and if they manage to survive in a distressed downtown, it's because they're doing some things right. I think the oldest bar is On the Rocks, which is 8+ years. And he knows his strategy and he knows his market, and he doesn't steer away from that. What we need is to brand it over a broader perspectives so that encapsulates really, so we know when we say where we're going downtown, or a guest is at La Posada or at Marriott or wherever, or at Embassy, you actually have something that tells them the story about downtown, and then you can encourage them.
Can I ask you a question on that? Just I know that folks have to get going and have a condensed meeting perhaps today, but Jose, I've heard you say in a context of other meetings that you don't expect the city to do everything for everyone, and that you are actually asking private sector to step up and take some of the lead on this. In terms of that broader downtown marketing idea, are you expecting us to lead the charge on that, in terms of us being City of Laredo, not just CBB?
No, I think it'd be.
Or do you think that's coming from elsewhere? I guess that's my question.
No, I think the leadership it has to be mutual leadership. There are some folks, and we saw it, you were there, when there's some folks even in the alliance that have a stronger voice, stronger both presence and they understand strategy, is get those folks kind of to participate in some leadership so that everybody's part of whatever that, it's not really a brand, but it's an effort, right? If you're
Sure.
if your deliverable is a small brochure that's available at every hotel to increase the level of amenities in our city, or to at least depict them, you would want everybody participating. But I don't think that'd be good to do without CBB being part in some form of leadership there. Because you also have a grand strategy for what you perceive as being a destination. But I think you'd want to do it jointly. The other piece of this is the redevelopment piece of the downtown, which, as you already, we're fully engaged with the city, the bar lines and Fasken, and trying to get the downtown clean and the low-hanging fruit and all of that. But in terms of just tangible deliverables, whether it be that are digital on a website or at hotels, it'd be good for everybody to be in agreement over what that should look like strategically and message-wise, so that it resonates outside of Laredo and brings more folks down here. That's my opinion, right?
Yeah, and the Bar Alliance, when we started with them, it was really for them to organize themselves so that they can create a strategy also within themselves. So I think it's really just adding all of these components. Main Street, that's also a strategy for us to how can we brand downtown as a destination. So I think it's really just all of these entities, trying to really explode downtown and get the word out is really what
Is that a priority from your board, Priscilla? Have y'all set that out in a plan of some sort?
No, because we're just ending our fiscal year and we're starting our new one. That's when we'll do our strategic planning. We're in the middle of doing all of that, but it is on our agenda to put together. That's a reason why we started to help the facilitating the Bar Alliance and stuff, so that we can, these are all components of what downtown, it's really in our mission, so.
And the role of Main Street is important because it keeps there's a meeting and there's a signing sheet and there's postings of what's coming up. That's going to be very helpful. As much as it might seem rudimentary, it's critical because folks are busy. They're usually not available during the mornings, so you've got to work with them even in meetings in the evening. To me, it's getting to some sort of deliverable that's with an accepted strategy that everybody thinks, okay, this works, so that so stuff is sellable and it means room nights to hotels and visitors. So, and even just knowing, which bar belongs to which age group, so to speak, because you get that question. If you're at Embassy, we're going downtown, where should we go? So that's kind of like a deliverable that speaks to that. I think the Austin TX website, we've shared before in other meetings, or Austin Love, right? Or what is it?
I think it's Austin Love 365.
Yeah, so it's an app, it's a website, and it's an app too, and it shows you you know, what's available in different locations downtown and other places. But that's, to me, that's where I think we could go, especially if everybody's, and they're pretty participative and cooperative.
Yeah, we have a really good group, like, at all the meetings that we've had, that I'd say maybe we've had like 6, 7. We have almost like full participation of all the bars downtown. So they're really invested, and their businesses kind of depend on trying to, you know, I feel like everybody's like, now's the time to get out there and push, and so they're really involved in what's going on with their businesses downtown.
The smarter ones don't see each other necessarily as competitors, because the good ones already have an established market, so they just want to keep it consistent, avoid your you know, any fights and any of those issues that could break down the whole system. So those are the things that they're working on. The new ones are kind of grabbing segments, right? But the established ones, they have their market pretty much saturated in place. From my side, just, I think maybe as a deliverable for this exercise this morning is to maybe have a joint meeting between a few reps and come up with what would be a look and feel, or a strategy, broad strategy. What is it wrapped under? What would the deliverable look like? And then put it out there, you know.
What about parking? Does anybody have problems with parking?
Well, yeah, parking is a huge issue for the downtown bar alliance, and so the bar alliance, the members from there and Main Street were very active in the workshop that was just held by the traffic department for the downtown parking study. And so that through that effort as well, we kind of advocated to the city to open up their city parking lots in the evenings, so that the establishments that are open after 6 have parking spaces. So that was a very successful thing that kind of came out of that as well. And so it is an issue, but the group is working together to figure out different ways of advocating for better parking
and communication, because when I came to the pub crawl, the parking lot at Iturbide and Santa Ursula, you guys were already really busy, because I didn't get there till like 8:45. I was the only one that was using the parking lot over there. So it's a lot of it is about, maybe the deliverable does have to show where you can park, right?
Mhm.
Because there's got to be at least 30 spaces, probably more over there, and I was the only one there. And then when I left, there was 3 other cars, but that's a block away from the pub crawl.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just tremendous traffic on Iturbide during the event too. And then the next day there was another event, it's tremendous traffic too. But yeah, that's a good point, because some on the western side of Iturbide, I thought they had enough parking. I'm hearing from Happy Hour the other day that they're already saturated, actually from the Taboo folks, that they're already pretty saturated. And there's a lot of parking over there. We haven't, I don't think we've uploaded the private parking on Google yet. That needs to be done. But it just depends on if folks are just not accessing all the parking. That's just my opinion. Right?
Are they charging for parking on the meters?
No.
Because there was buzz that they were gonna start charging, right?
There isn't any charge after 6 o'clock.
No, but so the study
People just wanna walk.
consultants that have been hired by the city of Laredo are going to take inventory of what we have, and then they're going to see what are different strategies that can be used, whether it is raising meters during a certain period of time to move cars around, or if it's charging less, or if it's not having meters. I mean, there's so many strategies for parking in downtowns that the consultants will then review what we have, and then they'll tell us the best strategy that they feel is best interest for our downtown. So I think we're really relying on that to kind of come out before we say there's going to be a raise in meters, or there's going to be because we really don't know. And if there is, it might just be in a certain section for a certain reason. I mean, there's different strategies that were explained to me the day of the workshop that can work in different areas for different situations.
And we asked them, we were at the same session, we asked them to release the inventory early, because their deliverable is I think in January. to release a draft or something. But it would help, they were saying that there's 1,000 parking meters downtown. I mean, that's a lot of meters. In addition to the city parking lots, and in addition to the private parking spaces. So if they can start releasing that inventory to us, I think we could start ourselves starting to kind of lay it out. I know you all already started
Yeah.
with a preliminary parking lot plan or parking lot map. But I'm gonna say I think there's probably enough parking.
Yeah.
With, we were at that workshop and somebody that works on Hidalgo Street didn't realize that city parking lot, that's actually literally a block and a half from where she works. And she's parking 3 blocks away from, so some of it is just misinformation or lack of it. And hopefully through Main Street and other groups, and to Blasita's point is, I don't think the city needs to do everything. I think the private sector is now kind of activated to help out. It's a good time for it.
Yeah, and I think that's the way it works best.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I mean, the city can't take on all of that responsibility, that the private sector. And they're successful businesses. And maybe with the alliance and everything, they could come up with their strategic plan and maybe at that time, bring it complete a plan and see how it all works.
So that it's all
That's
tying
what I
in.
was going to mention. Since the Alliance, I mean, those are the business owners that are actually there downtown. They see the traffic flow, they understand the area. So if y'all plan to have a meeting, which I definitely think that would be fantastic, they should definitely come prepared, Bring those, because like we're saying with the parking, if you endorse a certain area, I think people are more likely to go use it because then they feel a little more secure, knowing like, oh, okay, they're saying that this is an okay space. Like, that's usually a big concern, right? You just don't, if you don't come downtown frequently enough, you don't know what to trust, where, is it safe for you? So that's definitely an idea. They should come to the meeting with, some proposed areas that they're interested in. That way they can cross-check, see if that's even possible. And then, bring, develop, the Alliance needs to sit down and kind of come up with a little not a full-fleshed campaign, but, some messaging or what is it that you want to say specifically, and just a bare bones outline of, this is what we want to accomplish, this is what we're kind of thinking. That way, you're bringing not maybe a fully finished product, but something that the CVB can advise on with their experience and their knowledge of, what's worked and what hasn't. And then, you guys could probably have a pretty good, something that you can roll out pretty quickly. Just as long as, so y'all know, like, not to fully rely on them, like who's doing what. I'd say come with as much as possible.
Yeah,
when you
well,
come to
I don't want
meeting.
that to be the message here.
Yeah.
The Bar Alliance is not, neither is Main Street relying on CVB for anything, really. What we're asking is a partnership to help. You guys have such a big marketing strategy that you guys go to Monterrey and you guys go to a lot of places out of town. It's just another tool for the businesses downtown to be able to use. So I don't want that to be.
But it's a tool both ways.
Yeah,
The
both ways as
CVB
well.
needs to have destinations, right?
Exactly.
Of course.
No, and I'll tell you right now, I'm always looking for content. The marketing team is always looking for content. You know that we have a calendar available that's available to the public.
Yeah.
If, at these 6, 7 meetings that you had, I hope that you all have informed those bars that anybody can log on, create their account for free, upload the information, upload a flyer, and they can do that at their leisure, because we've got a very skinny staff as well. So we're trying to put tools out there so that anybody can go ahead and go on and, utilize that tool. I'd love to be at the table when you all have this meeting, so we can go over, the schedule that we've got, coming up for, 2019. We do run on an October fiscal, but in regards to our marketing, I'm working on a January through December calendar where I'm looking at newsletters and I'm looking at e-blasts where, perhaps we can go ahead and do, promotions on certain bars, partnered
great.
with the hotel, with the gift card from businesses, again, pushing the shop local, support local, angle that seems very popular, not just with the locals in town, but those that are coming in from out of town. That was a highlight that we touched on with the Mexican media that came in. And, so I would like to get together, but make sure that everyone is fully informed on what's already out
What's
there to
already in
be able
place,
to be
yeah.
utilized. And, if you all do have a brochure, one of the services that we do is we can go ahead and make those deliveries, on your behalf.
Which you do for
You know.
Main Street, that's
Yeah.
what we send you guys.
Exactly.
flyers, Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
And they have somebody helping with their marketing, potential marketing program, or not yet?
As a group, it's because, okay, so when it started 2 months ago, it was with the bar crawl. So it was really just like organizing the event or whatever. In between like these meetings, we kind of throw in there like, hey, okay, broader perspective of what's going on here. And, so it's very new, it's very fresh for everybody. So we do, basically what I tell the Bar Alliance is like Main Street, use us as your tools. We've done several events, we'll get you the resources that you need. If you need somebody from the city here for lighting, or you need something, like we'll try to get you those resources so that they're able to have whatever their needs are, right, to get their voice heard. So definitely all of these things are on the agendas at our meetings to say like, hey guys, you guys can use this, or you guys can do this, or Main Street has done this, like, we're just always trying to give them information. So definitely, if I could invite you to one of the meetings, that way you can kind of give a brief presentation on how CVB could assist them with, and how they can use your website and stuff. That would be really awesome.
And to also kind of educate them over how you pitch the city, right, so that they get it too.
Yeah, no, and I mean, like you said, with On the Rocks, with Eddie.
Yeah.
I mean, he was one of the creators of our official drinks. So, he's one of the ones that has jumped on with Caminarte from the very beginning. So we do have a connection. There are these new little bars that have started to pop up, but, I'm waiting to see who's going to be Whiskey, who's going to be Escobar, who's going to be that other one. And of course, in regards to parking and meters, I mean, the way I see it, bars don't open downtown until after 6 o'clock.
Oh,
And that's
really?
when, by that time, the meters are free.
Well, you
So-
would think that the meters are free, but when we speak to the establishments, a lot of them are, because the meters are free, a lot of people are parking there overnight, and they're taking up the spaces that the local community could use right in front of their
Well,
establishments.
that becomes
for-
another concern.
Yeah, that's-
Exactly.
yeah,
So
somebody
that's
else
where,
retired.
that's
How
where
do you-
these conversations come up, and
Yeah.
then we kind of try to lead them in the direction of
Yeah.
where they should go to
And
get these.
to add to that, we've established a roundtable with Blasita and Ramon and other departments. Oh, you
Yeah.
guys, we met at your office.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been helpful. We were supposed to have another meeting today, but because Julian's gone, we're doing it next week. But that's a policy change issue that we're gonna have to work
Yeah.
through. Because actually, not only do locals they don't get to use that meter, but you don't get to clean the street.
Yeah.
So then your downtown's filthy.
Oh yeah, no, the street sweeper still goes regardless of their cars are there, and it's just
But it doesn't clean.
sleeping cars,
What time do the sweepers come out?
The large sweepers.
But what time do they come out? Like after 2, after the bars close, or?
I have not seen them before then, so I would imagine it's after the 2 o'clock.
I don't know a set schedule, but I know it's.
We're getting a
it's-
schedule, actually, because Ramon was gonna bring that to us, so we can share.
So you're
with
saying
them.
that some of the, they're leaving the cars there all night long?
As you get closer to Convent, you start seeing, I'm speaking specifically on Iturbide because I've witnessed it. There's nobody in the bars, because we went in, it's like 10:30 and there's very few people. But all the strip is full as you get to Iturbide, 2 blocks on both sides.
It's 10:30 at night.
At 10:30 at night, and then
The
those.
bars are empty, but.
A lot of
parking-
people, they
park,
park,
they
walk
walk to
home, and they
And then they come back in the
next
morning
day.
before the meter starts
Uh-huh.
charging, and,
I see.
and then they go to
So
work.
this is where the consultants for the parking study were kind of saying, okay, if there's an issue in a certain area for us, maybe not having free parking after 6 would help, so that they don't just park their vehicle there, so there's different strategies that they're looking
I
at.
did not know that.
Yeah, yeah, and then the next day, when we went back to, because we looked at some work that needed to be done on landscaping, the street it was broken glass, the sweeper never got to it, so.
Because of all the parked cars.
And if that's every night, that street probably hasn't been cleaned, and,
Well, I think that those issues need to be resolved. I mean, we're not gonna resolve them.
no, it's
So,
not.
I think that we could,
That's a
we
policy
address
issue.
the concerns of the problems. I would suggest that, you bring something that is comprehensive and thorough and
Yes, and
I guess we could-
that was not the
Definitely.
purpose of this visit, but it was really to connect us,
Mhm.
and, well, the CBB with the Bar Alliance,
Yeah.
and I think maybe that's a good start is for
Yes.
Yeah.
for you to join us at that meeting. And if we need to make it a small group, maybe we ask the group who wants to be involved in marketing, and then we can, or if you want to train, then we can do the full
She
group.
could,
Yes.
she could go ahead and bring back the,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And get that going.
Mhm.
Great.
Yeah, we'll contact you. I mean, we have a great relationship. Main Street has a great relationship with
Yeah.
CBB. So, I mean, this was just kind of like a formality to come and say, like, these things are popping up, and we would like, for you all to be a part with us because it all, at the end of the day, helps everyone in our community. And so I think it was just really kind of presenting them as a group and Main Street helping them facilitate this.
Absolutely.
And it's hard to get them in the morning.
Yeah.
And they're not here, obviously, last time we had a couple of them show up, but it's hard for them, they probably work till 4 or
Yeah,
5.
no, and I mean, even if it's an after-hours meeting after 5 o'clock, I mean, that's fine.
Yeah, they
doing it.
usually are. They're usually like 7:30. The earliest
Yeah.
we've had is 6.
I mean, with enough notice, I mean, well,
Yeah.
I'll definitely, be there.
Yeah.
And I'll see who else from my team can go
Well,
ahead and
we definitely
be there
want
as
to
well.
thank you guys so much
Thank you
for
all
being
for-
here and sharing that information with us. Appreciate it. We will.
keep us informed, right?
Yes, definitely.
Yes, wonderful. Let's go ahead and move now on next to the review of the year-to-date financial statements.
We'll be
Thank you guys
excused.
so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, as you see on page 4 and 5, everything is coming good, and there's, we're in our second month, so we kicking off, like Selena mentioned, of the marketing, so a lot of stuff that we are doing for the year, it's now little by little coming up, so we're gonna see those changes coming into our accounts and how we start spending the money. So, but everything is looking good. This past 2 months, we've been very busy. This week was very busy for us, and I know some of you guys have to eat, so I wanted to ask you, Madam Chair, if we could kind of excuse our reports and then kind of highlight one of the things that we did this
Yes, please.
this week. So some of you guys need to step out really
Yes,
quick.
because we will lose quorum.
Yeah, so we don't want to lose quorum and stuff like that. But this Monday and Tuesday, we hosted 38 individuals from Monterrey, the combination from media, travel agents. And we did something at the outlet shops, at the mall, and then we did a tour of the Sims Auto Arena, the Unitrade Stadium, Playmore. We got to expose them on the different things. One of the things that we did, obviously they stepped out, but we already started promoting the bars here in downtown. So all the travel agents, they got to, see, show them a little bit of the downtown. Obviously in 2 days, you can't show the whole city,
Right.
but we tried
Oh, really? Okay.
so many things. And, but we did a mini trade show as well at the outlet shops. We got all the travel agents, we got some attractions, we got some hotels, and some of the like the Laredo Heat was one of the booths there, and a few hotels that participated. WBCA was another one. We had the Risk for the birding festival. So some of these people were not even aware like how the birding was something very important for our community, nature and all that. So the wildlife, everything has to do with all that. So we had 10 agencies, travel agents that came in for that. Obviously, this is the first time that we bring them, as you heard in other meetings, as we normally go to Monterrey. We take a few of the hoteliers or the attractions. But this year, we decided to bring them here to Laredo. And we finished, we did a night golf at the MAC, so they were really impressed. We actually tried it too, so it was pretty cool, and not knowing what to expect at night golf, but it was glow in the dark. So we ended up finishing everything on Tuesday, and we finished everything at the Mall del Norte. The Mall Norte was really involved, the outlets, so they got an opportunity to, because we were trying to do the Black Friday free promotion, and so we wanted to start already selling that. So all the team was pretty involved. It was like probably about a month of going back and forth of the things that we were gonna do. but it was a whole team effort. Everybody was so impressed. We did a press conference there at the Water Museum.
I saw that on TV.
Yeah, we got good exposure from local news as well, being that there was other events, other press conference, was doing an event, the press conference at the airport. So many, the county was doing something, so we got a lot of exposure from the local media as well. But even from the media from Monterrey, they were able to do interviews. So overall in itself, we're gonna be seeing a lot of free editorial. And on the newscast as well, free footage of their trip to Laredo. And so it was a huge event. All the partners that participated, we couldn't make it without them. And everything that the marketing team and the sales team that we did, a combination was great. Everybody was so pleased. Everybody's is blown away with the new stuff that is happening, from the new development of the Loop 20. All the boutiques, the restaurants, everything here in downtown with all the bars and all that stuff. So we kind of gave them a lot of the stuff. Obviously, we're gonna follow up with them. The arena is when we stop there, they're creating a package where it's a hotel stay with a concert. So obviously they give their business cards to all the travel agents, and Reina has a good story from one of her friends that we were kind of telling them. They live in Monterrey, they came to Laredo. The price that they were gonna pay to see that same artist in Monterrey, they came here, they paid their gas, hotel, and concert, and for that same price ticket that they were gonna pay
Wow.
over there in
Big
Monterrey.
difference.
So we were telling them all that stuff, and so they're like, wow, and they got to see it, and we told them about the hockey team, the Laredo Bucks. So a lot of the things that are coming, they were so amazed that they're like, wow, we always think about just Laredo shopping and shopping. We're talking about the history, about the Seven Flags, about the Republic of the Grand Museum, so they were just thrilled that they didn't know all that. So overall, everything was really great, and everybody was very happy. And they ended up leaving, I think, like at 6. By the time they got there, it crossed and everything, they probably got like at midnight over there. But
Maybe that should happen more often, to bring them up,
yeah,
Because I think that exposure, like
Exposure.
they didn't
Mhm.
know,
yeah,
what we had.
And it's a very different experience as
Yeah.
opposed to us
going,
hosting
yeah,
over
And
there
telling them what-
and
Yeah.
then bringing them over
Yeah.
here.
yeah,
And it was our opportunity to go ahead and show them that there's more to Laredo than just shopping.
yeah,
And Playmore actually really impacted them. They, we told them that, Playmore does have a history with Laredo. They stepped out for a bit, now they're coming back. And they hosted the group, like Paul said, everybody, got a chance to play some laser tag. And
Man, that was fun.
everybody was just like, oh, para la familia, para después de acabamos.
That's good.
Para... Yeah, so, everything was just all really positive, and they look forward to coming back again. And of course, they were, of course, very inviting to us as well. They're like, whenever you all want to come back, like, we expect, for us to go ahead and repay the visit as well.
yeah.
That's great.
But, the outlet, the mini trade show over there gave an opportunity for those that we weren't able to go to,
Mhm.
for them to go ahead and spend individual time.
That was a very, very nice thing that, that mini trade show,
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
that exposed them to a lot
Yeah.
more stuff
Yeah.
and
And
you didn't have to,
people raffled items from one-night stays, purses
Oh,
from
yeah.
Bear Bradley, Michael Kors. We got the Mall Norte ended up giving some gift cards. They gave some from a new jewelry store, Daniel's Jewelry Store. They gave a beautiful watch, and then they gave baskets with stuff. So everybody was there, like all the travel agents. Man, they were blown away with everything. Like they had literally 10 minutes. Some of them even probably had like about 20 minutes with each, because we had, I believe, 15 from hotels, attractions, and local teams that participated. And it was really cool. We didn't know what to expect, how it was going to turn out, but it turned out pretty good. The people got to meet because they're so used to either IH-35 or a certain area, so they were exposed to other hotels in other areas, and they were exposed
Yeah, a lot of them
to
don't know about the Papalic Loop, they don't know about
Yeah.
the
so
San
this is the
Isidro
first
area.
time you host?
the first time.
Well, First time together.
Yeah.
Together, I mean,
We've
but
had
yeah,
groups come in before.
Yeah, we've had
it's
smaller
just
groups.
drama
Uh-huh.
and stuff that-
And it's a smaller experience,
Yes,
but this
yeah.
time we did have a bus full of media, and then we had, travel agents that also traveled along. It was the same itinerary, just at different points of time, within the 2 days.
Yeah, so it's a lot of fun, a lot of hard work, but I think it paid off, and they were very thrilled. A lot of at least in the travel agents, they were like, wow, sometimes we just bring a bus, go shopping, and we go back.
See, they're just
So-
focused.
Yeah.
So we were like, now that you showed us all this, and we kind of did like a window tour, because it's really hard to get off in every location and do it. So they got to see and get exposed to some of the new restaurants, local restaurants and boutiques. And I'm like, you guys don't have to just go to the outlets in Mall del Norte. There's so many other stores. There's stores here in downtown, other boutiques that are very popular, and restaurants too, because they're so just used to I-35.
Right.
So kind of wanted to highlight that with you guys. Obviously, Selena will probably, once we finish, we'll probably get some like editorials and stuff like we got, and we'll show them to you guys. Yeah, that's one of the things I wanted to highlight before we lose you guys. So I know Alex had to leave and Judy. So basically, that's kind of what we wanted as a team to kind of convey to you guys, Madam Chair. And if you guys are okay, to excuse the meeting, and unless you guys have any questions.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
How do you determine everyone that or the locations that you took them to?
We kind of saw, what we did is we looked at things that the families could go. So we obviously,
That's very smart.
yeah, we focus on that, new things and what kids, because these people, they don't travel it's not just the mom and the dad, they bring their kids. So obviously the new attraction is gonna open up as the Playmore, so we knew that that was gonna be a good location. The Max, which there's people that they have one of the best golf courses in Monterrey, so we know that we have golfers. So it's trying to introduce them to our golf course that's designed by Robert Trent Jones. So, and then obviously the Mall del Norte and the outlets are two of the big anchors for shopping that are big,
That will get them
Live
here,
here.
but then now they have something else to do
after.
afterwards.
Maybe you get, we can
Yeah.
increase the heads and beds, maybe, maybe not when they were just going and
One
coming in
coming,
one day.
at least one night.
At least one night.
Yeah.
So that was our goal, to do that. And obviously
That's a good
Yeah.
this is the first one, obviously, like you said, you mentioned, Judy, we wanna look at how, if we do both of them together, or we just bring travel agents at another time, and then we kind of take turns media on another, so we kind of like rotate them, or we bring them all together.
No, I think it's
And-
easier to handle, yeah,
Yeah,
because it's gonna be hard,
Hard, yeah.
to,
that's what
and you
we,
don't get the same effect.
yeah,
It's-
that's what we noticed, that we were able to get good, but we noticed that if we focus on one group more, then we have a bigger bang.
Yeah.
And you get, and they're gonna have questions,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
I mean, and you have more quality time
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
people, so.
Yeah.
They have different interests when they're here.
Yeah, no, and the
media
partners were
and
really great
travel.
about,
Mhm.
taking the time to do individual interviews after visiting with them.
Yeah,
Because every reporter wants to get their specific
Right.
angle, and they
Yeah.
don't want to look like every other story. So they're
Yeah.
like, no, I want to interview you over here, or
Yeah.
I want to interview over here. So, we invited as many attractions as
Mhm.
possible, and for those that made it, that's great.
Mhm.
And obviously, if they couldn't make it, they were still invited to go ahead and give us any information that
Mhm.
they had that they'd like us to pass on.
Instead
And it
of
was
you
just an
going over there and
opportunity.
Yeah.
presenting
It was an opportunity
for
for them to
Yeah.
go ahead and touch
You
the
bring
travel
them over
agents to build
here.
packages.
And you show them, I mean,
Yeah.
is that the same thing for
Yeah.
you to be saying it or showing them on a video,
Yeah.
than for them to come and experience?
Yes.
yeah.
I think it's to our benefit to bring them as often as we can, just
Yeah.
because it is, like you say, it's very difficult to explain
Yeah.
something or to paint the
Of course.
picture with your words. I mean, it's
Mhm.
just easier if you can guide them through the
Show them.
process and show
Yeah.
them exactly
A
what they can
hands-on
do.
experience.
So that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really tough.
Well, could anyone, to be more direct, could I get
Be a part
involved
of
with, yeah.
Oh,
be a part
yeah,
of this?
definitely, yeah.
You
Yeah, next
can
thing.
go there.
Yes, because I've already had maybe a handful of their weddings,
Mhm.
people from Monterrey, because, you know, families are on both sides.
Yeah.
This is kind of
Middle.
the middle.
No, definitely, yeah.
You know, and if you have any brochures, that's what we've
Yeah.
got Casa Laredo.
Oh,
We have our
Casa
office there
Laredo
as
with
well.
Selena and Samuel,
Mhm.
you know, because they go ahead and reach out to, they have, you know, different presentations that they
Mhm.
do. So they can already start telling people, you know, if
Yeah.
you're looking for a meeting space, if you're
Right,
looking,
right.
you know, to have an event in Laredo, you know, this is another option.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So if I can get on, I'll get together with you.
Yeah, definitely, yes, yeah. So it was great, you know, it was a good learning experience for us, because, you know, like we said, we've done it before, but smaller and just been one group. This time we wanted to do bigger, and, but I think it was really good, and, I know both the outlet shops and the Mall de Norte staff were really happy. They got some time to go shopping, and obviously after the golf course, they went shopping to Walmart and Target, and so it's crazy, like, man, and Ross, I'm like,
They had the
"They're already
option,
going to
no.
sleep," like,
The bus took them, if you want, for those that want to do shopping,
Yeah.
you know, on your own time, like, we'll take you and we'll wait, and for those that just want to head back to the hotel, you know, go to sleep,
Sleep,
you know, directly to the hotel
Yeah.
too. So we were aware that we didn't obviously want to
Yeah.
overtime them, you know?
Yeah, then that's good though, that you gave them the option.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so no, they were thrilled, and they were just, they saw something different from Laredo that they've never really seen. Because they get so used to it, and I'm the same way too. I only go to certain restaurants,
Right.
and it's now when I hear staff, hey, I went to this one, then I go and try it out. Because I'm so used to what I eat and what I enjoy, so.
Oh, no,
it's-
dice Laredo.
Yeah. Morena's the one that tells me everything. But, you know, there's people, that's the same thing. They come here to the Mall Norte, they do this, and they get
Yeah,
back.
their
and
routine.
So they already have the routine, so we're showing
So
them
in the
all.
Chick-fil-A,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we try to show them everything throughout the city in a 2 day, basically. A day and a half, because really we left them some hours for shopping. But it was very successful, and we want to continue doing these in some other groups. And so we kind of wanted to show you guys that, tell you guys about it, and eventually, once we get some footage and editorial, we want to present it to you guys so you could see the different exposure that we got on Mexican media.
And maybe later on, you know, you could like play more, I mean, they may wanna have a day, you know, for people from Monterrey or Mexico, maybe, you know, they might have some tournaments or, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
that they would like to participate
Mhm.
in, and maybe a 2 night stay instead
Yeah.
of one.
Yeah, in
Oh.
Mexico.
And, you know, that I think is the start of
Yeah.
how to, you know, you all open the door
Go
to
to something.
something
Oh,
very
yeah.
important,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. We got to do the laser tag, and oh my God, it's so much fun. I'm young, but these people, it's like, man, I thought I was like 5 years old, and I'm just kidding everybody, and yeah, it's a laser, and it vibrates, and I didn't know what to expect, but man, it was a lot of fun. It's just an 8-minute thing. It was, even the travel agents that had so much fun, like, oh my God, like, I don't think I've never done this. And so, you know, and kind of being in business, but then we got those 8 minutes for them to kind of play and enjoy it. And
Kids again.
Yeah, be kids again. And it was like, wow, they really left there with a great impression. Mr. Vela, the singer, he gave us some brochures and some information on that they took and pricing and all that stuff. So yeah, it was great. Overall, everything was really good. So hopefully by next meeting, we'll already have that information that we could show you guys. And if there's any other questions that you guys might have in any of the reports,
We'll call you.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Before we excuse, are there any other announcements that anyone would like to make?
We do have the Dia de los Muertos happening tomorrow downtown at the Center for the Arts. That is from 5 to 9.
So
at
when
the
is the night?
Consulado. Monday?
What is
Tonight will be the opening of the exhibit
Yeah.
with the Consulado. They have a beautiful exhibit on Dia de los Muertos. So then tomorrow we have the event from 5 to 9.
Where there'll be mariachi music, there'll be live performers, arts and crafts, you know, by
So how is it different
different
one than
artists.
the
The
other?
difference is
It's more of a
today.
show, like an
Today
art
is just
show.
the art show.
Mhm.
They open the exhibit for people to go and see. You know, they're more into the arts and seeing what the artist has created. And tomorrow it's a family event where there'll be vendors.
You have arts and crafts,
It's
you
a
know,
mano.
food vendors, and it's it's a little livelier, I guess you could say.
Yeah,
And
tomorrow.
today is,
The time's right.
And tomorrow.
The
what
time-
do you wanna do our
Tonight,
TikToks?
it starts at 6?
Correct, 6 to 9.
But this is only the opening reception. for-
Yeah,
Yeah, it's an opening reception.
Yeah, sure, that.
You have the artists there that created some of the pieces, you know, it's more
And tomorrow, yeah.
Just you might be there,
now,
not just
but
me.
more to appreciate the pieces.
Appreciate the art.
As opposed to tomorrow, because it does, you know, there are so many people that are drawn to there that it sometimes might even take away from the pieces that are on.
Yes, because when it happens, they push the art to the wall, outside walls. Just because they're.
The altares are gonna be set up.
Yes,
Yes.
they've already been started, they're on the mezzanine, they're gorgeous.
Yeah.
They're beautiful.
Yeah, that will be ready tonight.
Well, hopefully we can attend that.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Oh, invite.
Alrighty, folks, call motion to adjourn.
I saw, look.
Second, wonderful, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I'm glad that we were able to have our meeting
Yeah.
because I don't think that we've ever not had a forum. That I can remember.
I don't think.
Doesn't happen
No,
often.
it's never. Right, we're one of the.
I'm always
Yeah,
thankful
yeah.
that other committees and
Walking me through.
we always have.
I think we're the few that the committee that's always been, right?
Yeah,
I
we
think
always,
there's been maybe twice that I've been here.
Not often.
Let me go rock the boat.